going to set my time correction by holding down note repeat and then hitting quarter notes at the bottom of the screen. And then I'm going to activate record and hit play start. So next, I want to program in my kick. I think I'm going to use this kick right here. My kicks I'm going to put in 16ths. So I'm going to change my time correction right here. I'm going to note repeat, set it to 16ths. And I also want my kick pattern to have a little bit of variety. I don't want it to repeat every 4 bars. So I want to change the length of my sequence from 4 bars to 8 bars. Notice up here at the top where it says sequence, to the right it has a pencil, which will allow me to edit the sequence. I have the same thing for tracks, and I have the same thing for programs. So I'm going to touch this pencil, and I'm going to say double length. That automatically doubles the length of the sequence. So it was 4 bars, now it's 8 bars. So I'm going to go ahead and record my kick pattern in now. So far, I've created 2 programs, one through sampling from an external source, which was my turntable, and another from importing files in that I already had on my hard drive. Next, I'm going to bring in some pre-made programs that came with my MPC software. So I'm going to go back to my browser, get out of the sample pool and go back to project. And then I'm going to double tap up here at the top. And I'm going to select my MPC drum content folder. And from there, I'm going to choose drum kits. And from here, I'm going to scroll through. It'll be helpful if I filter to only show programs. So now I'm only seeing programs, and I'm going to scroll to select Avenue and then press the data dial to load it. Again, these are preloaded programs that came with the MPC software when I purchased it. So I'm going to scroll to find the Beef program and load that. And after that loads, I'm going to scroll down, looking for one more further down here called Ish. Here it is right here. I'm going to load that. And now I want to back out of this folder and go to my Trap Drums folder. And I'm going to scroll down and choose MPC Trap Kit 8. Load. So I've loaded in 4 new programs that came installed with the software that I'm going to use to continue creating my track. So I'm going to go to the next unused track, and I'm going to double touch on the program name, and it's going to bring up this menu, and I'm going to select one of the programs, just not that one. Let me go back. I want Beef. And I'm going to put in some percussion here. So I'm going to use the note repeat function to help program in these percussion parts. So I'm going to hold down Shift and hit note repeat to lock it in. And I'm going to set it to 8th triplets. Now I'm going to hit play start and then overdub. So I hit the pad a little bit early on the first repeats that I did, and I added in a note that I don't want. So I'm going to use grid mode to help me get rid of that. In grid mode, I can actually see the MIDI events. So I'm going to zoom in, scroll a little bit to the left, and this note right here I don't want. So I'm going to select erase and touch it, and it's gone. It's just that simple. So we'll come back and use grid mode more a little bit later on. So I'm going to record one more percussion part on this track. So I'm happy with that, finished with my percussion, and I want to move on to add more tracks. So I'm going to get out of note repeat by touching note repeat, and then I'm going to go to the next track by hitting the plus here. And now I want to name the track by hitting, nope, I hit the pencil. I meant to hit the A here, and I'm going to go ahead and name the track. And I'm going to name it Percs, P-E-R-C-S, short for percussion. On the next track, I'm going to add some hi-hats. And I'm going to add those in as quarter note triplets. And I'm just going to add this hi-hat right here on this pad in. Great. Let's go ahead and name that track, and I'm going to name these trap hats. Okay, let's move forward and go to the next track. And on this track, I want to add the Avenue program. Just going to select that here. And I just want to put in some straight 16th hi-hats. And this time, I'm not going to use note repeat, and I'm going to turn timing correction completely off. And I'm going to play them in naturally, and then if I need to, I'll correct the timing afterwards with time correction. Not bad. I fell off a little bit there at the end, but that gives me an opportunity to use time correction. So if I touch this TC in the bottom left-hand corner, I can set the time correction. I'm going to turn off triplets and set it to 16ths. Make sure it's on selected because those are the MIDI events that are selected. I'm going to say do it. And now all of those hi-hats have been moved to the closest 16th note. So a couple of places where my timing was really off, it pulled it to a 16th that left a gap. I'm going to fix that with grid view. My grid resolution is already set at 16ths, but I could double tap that 16ths and bring up a menu and set it to whatever I want it to be, but it's already set at 16ths, so I'm good. I'm going to select the pencil, and then when I draw here, these notes will fall right on 16ths to fill in those gaps.